Hey everybody, just wanted to wish you a very happy week as well as a happy new year. 2021 is going to be all about manifesting the things that 2020 made possible last year. So we really need to focus on our inner transformations this year. A lot of things are going to start happening due to divinely inspired events. A lot of personal transformation, learning about your own personal freedom, adaptability. This is going to be a really big year for people. So I wanted to share today some of the important books that I read or have read that have helped me pursue this journey of healing. Some of them teach some coping mechanisms or strategies that have helped me a lot, or they've just molded my way of thinking so that I can be more open-minded, or I am just willing to take a step back and try to take myself out of the equation so that I can understand why life is the way it is, instead of anything being perceived as good or bad, being able to just see what is. Because, for example, what's chaos to the fly is normality for the spider. So I think it's a good thing to practice. But to start off, Biocentrism. It is a fantastic book. It is called, full name, Biocentrism, How Life and Consciousness Are the Keys to Understanding the True Nature of the Universe. Robert Lonzo wrote this as well. He worked with Bob Berman on this. Robert Lonzo is a medical doctor. Super amazing book. In terms of what it's about, it can be a little hard to follow because it is very scientific, but it talks about basically what happened before the Big Bang? How did we get where we're at now? And how consciousness plays roles in understanding why the way the universe works. Very interesting. That was the first book that I had ever picked up when I started pursuing a spiritual awakening and a healing journey. Thought it was a great way to go. Okay, so the next one. Love this book. It makes me cry every time I open it. Signs. The Secret Language of the Universe. This is by Laura Lynn Jackson. She is a psychic medium. I know some people don't necessarily believe in otherworldly powers or gifts, if you will, like that, but truly this is worth opening up. I had bought this book because it stuck out to me on Amazon without even knowing she was a psychic medium, and this book is literally all about how there's a secret language out there that the universe speaks to us in, and it's all about signs and synchronicities. So if you feel that life keeps trying to give you these signs, this is a book to pick up, literally. My grow lights just turned on for my plants, so that must be a good sign. It's time to get some sun. My favorite book out of all of these, the one that I consider my textbook when I talk about that a lot, is this one. This is very dear to my heart. I'm still working through it myself, but already I have highlighted so many things, and I really take my time with each chapter. I wait until this book tells me to open it up so that I can learn from it. But it's the Empath Survival Guide, Life Strategies for Sensitive People. It is by Judith Orloff, who is not only a medical doctor, but she is an empath as well. And my lord, does she seem like she has it figured out. This book specifically talks a lot about if you are just feeling stuck as an empath or a sensitive person, why you're feeling the way that you're feeling, coping mechanisms in terms of energy shielding, especially if you are a very sensitive person. You can get sensory overload very easily and become overstimulated. And this book is a fantastic way to work yourself out of a rut as an empath and a sensitive person, and to not only be willing to understand yourself, but to be able to accept yourself, to be able to be gentle with yourself. Empath Survival Guide. Absolutely amazing book. I've highlighted throughout it. There are just not any times where I won't be willing to pull this out to someone else and say, this rings so true for you. Listen to this. Let me read this to you. Let me send you a picture of, this page. Super duper important. The other two books that I absolutely think are important to give a read are The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. He's written several really great books, but I had read this book years and years ago, probably like 7+ years ago. And it's something that I go back to a lot. It helped me have a baseline of understanding for myself and the world, as well as what I expected to take away from life. And that it is absolutely okay to be positive, to have faith. It's actually crucial to have faith in something. And that's where my beliefs come from in terms of having faith, is from that book. You have to believe in something, whether it be yourself, a cause, another person, a higher power. Having that faith truly helps push you towards positivity. Norman Vincent Peale was a pastor. He even says it in his book many times. Even though I might be, a man of God and a preacher of the Christian faith, I just overall believe in positivity and goodness and love. And that is such an important part to take away from this, is that it has nothing to do with religion or personal differences. It's truly what you can find that works for you, that helps you make sense of everything. And he wrote it like 70-something years ago, and it rings truer and truer in today's society than even when he wrote it, I think. It's crazy. Last but certainly not least is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. It is typically a bright red book. You cannot miss it. It is an absolutely amazing read. It's actually a fictional story, which I think is a good way to kind of pull yourself away from, all of these books that are nonfiction. They can be kind of thick at times, if that makes sense, kind of hard to follow. So to have a fictional story, something with, kind of a climax and something to look forward to, I think that is a great way to continue on this learning and this reading, and to be able to draw positivity from the stories. But it's kind of a fresh perspective, because it is just kind of a fun story. But absolutely fantastic read as well, The Alchemist. As a quick added bonus, if you have made it this far into this video, I highly suggest checking out Initiation into Hermetics by Franz Bardon. It is a book that I just read on my computer, so I couldn't really tell you what it looks like in terms of looking for it and purchasing it yourself. But if you have a belief of the subtle energy system, or if you believe in vibes, if you believe that there is absolutely a magnetism to the world and all things, I highly suggest giving this a read. It is a little cryptic in the way that it's written, because it was written so long ago, but it is very important knowledge, especially if you are a believer of vibrations, and you are an empath, and you are a very sensitive person as well. It touches on the main elements, which I think are very important, fire, water, air, earth, and akasa, which is like God energy. It is what makes everything, the unknown, the unseeable, the unmade. It just made a lot of sense for me when I was kind of looking for something a little deeper, in terms of, okay, I understand I'm a sensitive person. How does this relate to the world around me? But yeah, I would just consider that maybe like a little extra gift, some icing on the cake, if you will. I know that some of these books aren't going to be for everyone, but I really do think that reading is a very important part of growth. So even if you can find some audiobooks that call out to you, do it. And I don't think that you'll regret it one bit. Love and light.